Greetings, deceivers and non-deceivers. This is Insane Orangutan. It is June 2013, the end of June 2013, and this is Revelation 6. This has astrology in it, as Revelation 4 had astrology in it. It's getting detailed into the timing of the judgments. And I could start off reading verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying, as it were a voice of thunder, Come and behold. The first living creature is the lion. And so what it doesn't say this here, but the second living creature is the one mentioned first, then the third, then the fourth. So one of the living creatures, the first living creature, is the first one mentioned in Revelation 4, the lion. That has to do with Leo. And this is the age of Aquarius Leo. Now, the first part of the sign of the first 222 year section of the part of the sign of Leo, and which also affects the first 222 years of the age of Aquarius, is Sagittarius. And when it says, I heard one of the four living creatures saying, as it were a voice of thunder, Come and behold, the thunder is referring to the section of Aquarius, which refers to the first 222 years of the age of Aquarius. So this should start happening in this section of the age of Aquarius, in this part of the age, in this beginning part of the age of Aquarius. We have, since 2000, we have had 222 years for this age of Gemini, which is the beginning 1/9 of the age of Aquarius. It starts out with Gemini, and the opposite sign is Sagittarius. We are under Sagittarian influence, is what it's saying. The voice of thunder, that has to do with Sagittarius, because Sagittarius has to do with thunder. It has to do with Jupiter, and Jupiter is, in the Roman pantheon and in the Greek pantheon, although it's called by a different name, the god of thunder. And it says a voice of thunder. And I saw, and lo, a white horse, and he who is sitting upon it is having a bow, and there is given to him a crown. And he went forth overcoming, and that he may overcome. So there's a white horse. Horse has to do with Sagittarius. And he who is sitting upon it is having a bow. The symbol for Sagittarius is a centaur. It's a half-man, half-horse creature. Here we have a man, which is part of the centaur, who has a bow, who is sitting on a horse, which is the other part of Sagittarius, other part of the centaur, and the centaur is holding a bow. The idea is shooting for the stars. That's very much what Sagittarius means. And it says, and there was given to him a crown. A crown has to do with a king. That has to do with Leo, the opposite sign of Aquarius, in this age of Aquarius. And he was conquering, and it says, and I opened the second seal, and I heard the second living creature. So the implication is this was the first living creature, and it's very clear that stating it was the first living creature, which is the lion, which represents Leo. The second living creature saying, I heard the second living creature, and when I opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, Come and behold. And there went forth another horse. This is still representing the age of Aquarius. Or is still representing the Sagittarius, which is in Leo. The beginning part of the age of Aquarius, the corresponding part to the sign of the Gemini age, which is under the greater age of Aquarius in Leo. Red, and to him who is sitting upon it there was given to him to take the peace from the land, and that that one another they may slay. And there was given to him a great sword. The ironic thing I'm seeing about this is the second living creature is a calf, and that has to do with Taurus, which has to do with worldly peace. And so worldly peace is being taken from the land. And I want to point out the one that went forth overcoming, and that he may overcome. That's Jesus. The gospel is spreading, and the reign of Christ is beginning. And in that reign of Christ, there are judgments because the world is not living according to their King. And when he opened the third seal, now this is Aquarius, I heard the third living creature, which is likened to a man in Revelation 4, saying, "Come and behold." And I saw, and lo, a black horse, and he who is sitting upon it is having a balance in his hand. That's another sign under the age of Aquarius. The main signs under the age of Aquarius are Libra for 666 years, and Gemini for 222 years, which relates to the horse and the bow and the thunder, the voice of thunder. And Libra has to do with balances. Libra is a balance. It might be easier if we translated this into English. Libra means balance or scale. In the old world, a balance or scale was a balance. And so he had a balance in his hand, or a scale in his hand. So that has to do with portioning things out with cost, because money is weighed out and food is weighed out. And it says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, a measure of wheat for a denarii," and there's measuring it out, "and 3 measures of barley for a denarii, and the oil and the wine thou mayest not injure." So under the age of Aquarius, and under the sign of Aquarius, in the age of Aquarius, the 666 years is famine. And so we have a judgment of famine from God. So where somebody buys a certain amount of wheat or a certain amount of barley, and it costs a denarii, which is a day's wages. So it costs a denarii. That's universally understood as a day's wages. But some people are getting oil and wine. It says, "And the oil and the wine thou mayest not injure," or thou mayest not damage. And when I opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature, this is Scorpio, saying, "Come and behold." And Scorpio has to do with murder. It specifically has to do with murder, any type of passion that is very pointed, very intense passion. And when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the fourth living creature, Scorpio, saying, "Come and behold." And I saw, and lo, a pale horse. And he who is sitting upon him, his name is Death, and Hades doth follow with him. and there was given to them, and Hades means the grave in this instance. So there was given to death, which is the one sitting on the pale horse, and Hades, and there was given to them authority to kill over the fourth part of the land. And Scorpion, under Scorpio, the first part is Pisces, and Pisces has to do with death. Given authority to kill over the fourth part of the land. Pisces has to do with the last gasp, the end of life, since it's the last sign of the zodiac, with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and by the beasts of the land. And it says, and when he opened the fourth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those slain because of the word of God and because of the testimony that they held. And they were crying with a great voice, saying, Till when, O Master, the holy and the true, dost thou not judge and take vengeance of our blood from those dwelling upon the land? And there was given to each one white robes, and it was said to them that they may rest themselves yet a little time, so a short time, till may be fulfilled also their fellow servants and their brethren, who are about to be killed, even as they. Now the four signs of the zodiac that make up the Age of Aquarius were already gone through, and the fifth sign that represents Mercury. It represents communication, and it says there is no beast, there is no fifth beast. He opened the fifth seal, and he saw the souls of those slain because of the word of God. That has to do with Mercury, because Mercury has to do with word. And because of the testimony they held, that has to do with what is spoken. It has to do with Mercury. And there was given to each one white robes, and it was said to them that they may rest themselves yet a little time, till may be fulfilled their fellow servants and their brethren who are about to be killed, even as they. So when everybody's dead, when all the Christians are dead, then comes the resurrection. In my understanding, then comes the resurrection, the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And it says in the Bible that the dead came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Somewhere in the latter part of the Bible, I think probably Revelation 19, Revelation 20, Revelation 21, something like that. Probably Revelation 19 or 20, I think. And I saw when he opened the sixth seal, this is a lamb, this is Jesus. And lo, a great earthquake came, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. So here's coming the judgment. First, there were those that were killed for the testimony of Jesus, the word of God, and the testimony that they held. The word of God is Jesus. And the sun, a great earthquake came, and lo, a great earthquake came, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. This is talked about in the Old Testament. The Old Testament talks about the sun becoming black and the moon becoming blood. It says it in Joel. I think it's Joel 2. And the stars of the heaven, that represents the angels, and the stars of the heaven fell to the earth. That represents a judgment upon the angels, upon the heavenly beings, as a fig tree doth cast her winter figs by a great wind being shaken. So the idea is these figs are rotten, They're overripe. They're done. And the heaven, now it's giving us a future look. So this is chapter 6 is encapsulating the whole story of Revelation. And the heaven departed as a scroll rolled up, and every mountain and island out of their places were moved. Out of their places they were moved. And the kings of the earth and the great men. Now see, this is the judgment coming right after this. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich and the chiefs of thousands and the mighty and every servant, it should say slave, because that goes with the next phrase, and every freedman. We will have slavery in the age of Aquarius. I hate to disappoint people who think the age of Aquarius will be everybody being happy all the time and having a good time. It won't be like that. And there will be the judgment of God, and there will be good things and bad things. Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. And they say to the mountains and to the rocks, fall upon us. This is also in the Old Testament. And hide us from the face of him who is sitting upon the throne and from the anger of the Lamb. Because come did the great day of his anger, and who is able to stand?